This show brings together four works that basically are earlier works from the 90s. The thought being to bring works that had perhaps a strong political basis as a forceful punch almost in response to issues that our society and many societies are facing right now in the world.
Strength and clarity lead to peace. Weakness and ambivalence lead to war.
Transmission Tower was originally commissioned by Documenta 9. The idea being that that structure of what's being transmitted through mass media and popular media has always been very important to me over the decades.
Is sweeping the Pacific Rim. China.
There are three different sets of imagery. One set is that of Allen Ginsberg reading Birnbaum.
What do we do? You bomb! You bomb them!
I recorded at a student convention in 1988. And this is a poem I've been in love with because it was originally written against the war in Vietnam. I called Ginsberg to ask him if I could utilize the footage that I had. And he said, by all means. In fact, I just took the poem out to rewrite it in light of the Gulf War, the beginning of the Gulf War. And Transmission Tower indeed is my commentary on the beginnings of the Gulf War. Antenna Fist is a series taken from a book that I did with Imskut. What I did for that book is to appropriate anonymous street posters showing a reactive voice to the type of problematics of the government at that time and authoritarian systems. So mainly it's a student worker coalition. One half of the posters up are of an antenna, just like with Transmission Tower. Now, antenna as a receivership of information coming from outside of media, and the antenna house is zoomed in on till you only see the cross of the antenna. On the other hand comes forward a fist that was part of another poster. And this idea of the pushback against the force of the venues that transmit and receive news from and other voices that we take into our homes that are from the media and how they sway us in different ways. In the turn of the century, there was that feeling of, in Y2K, of will the machines even work for us anymore? Our computers, will everything go down? Will there be no form of communication? Josh Harris, who was both an entrepreneur having to do with the dot-com era, made a fortune. And I went and made a work he commissioned called Quiet Disaster, trying to look at the reaction through anime and just zero in on very, very select images, of which we see three targeted images. A woman looking back over her shoulder, a woman perhaps drowning. Is the hand reaching out, attempting to drown her or lift her up and save her? And a man running from and looking at fire. And so this image of air, water, fire, comes into play with it. I love the way that it looks onto these other works that are reflecting moments of disruption, of all that is not quiet. Canon Taking to the Streets is formulated upon the Take Back the Night March. I was teaching at Princeton University, and my students were taking part in this. Originally, it started in San Francisco in 1971 to be a march against the aggression toward women. And in Princeton, by that time in 1990, it was to march, whether it be male, female, or other, against aggression and acts of violence of any kind. To me, it relates to the show at large in the sense of, again, how does one appear in public? At that time, the public voice for me was perhaps stronger than it is today and may be something that is necessary again today. That's the reason to resituate these pieces now.